A friend recently lent me this book, Breathing Underwater, Spirituality and the 12 Steps by Richard Rohr. And this book is a reminder of the gifts that are everywhere. Angels are everywhere. The flow of life is happening all around us and within us. And if we would only be open to it, we will receive exactly what we need. That's what this book represents to me. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but I do recommend it. I am sober. I am 16 months without alcohol. And this is a book I never would have picked up, probably, from the library or from a bookshop. But someone I met recently, I was doing yard work for her, and I mentioned to her that I'm sober. We talked about a few things. She said, "Oh, I have a few books for you." She grabbed this one and a few others, but this is the one that called to me most, so I dove right in. And the author talks about the 12 steps, like Alcoholics Anonymous, and connects it to Christianity and kind of works through the journey that so many of us go on and the obstacles we encounter in addiction and sobriety. And in the back, there's a little workbook that offers space to reflect on your life, and it kind of gives room for healing. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm not going to go into deeper detail than that, but more so what it represents. So I shared with my friend, new friend, that I'm sober, a little bit about, my spiritual beliefs, and she gave me this book, and it's exactly what I needed, okay? And in sobriety, especially early sobriety, I don't know it beyond 16 months, but I can speak for the past 16 months, and what I've heard from others is that it's tough. Like, you're stepping into a new reality. You're facing so much. Your mistakes, your regrets, how you've been living, even if it doesn't make you proud, and you have to learn to sit with it. How to process emotions, how to become an emotionally intelligent person, how to become the person you want to be, which of course is ongoing, but in early sobriety, which I consider myself still early sobriety, it can feel like a waterfall on top of you. It's so intense. There's so much. Maybe you can relate to that. And sometimes in these hard moments, it can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. Everything's falling apart. Everything feels hard. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to be. And I feel depressed, or there's a lot of grief, right? You kind of move through the stages of grief when you quit a substance after, abusing it or being addicted to it. Maybe you can relate to that too. So when my friend gave me this, a book I never would have picked up that I loved so much, it is a reminder that there are gifts everywhere. There are people everywhere that are kind of ready to help you, just like you're ready to help people, just like you give gifts to people. It's a give and take, and it can be easy to kind of close yourself off from this flow of life, from God, from receiving, especially when you're in this place of like, what have I done? What is my life? Oh my gosh, I'm depressed. Everything feels hard. It's like we can cut ourselves off, or think that, there's nothing more for us. And through simply sharing with someone that I'm sober and a tiny bit about myself, she said, "Oh, here's this book. I want you to borrow this." And it served me so much. It's so simple, and it can be even simpler than this, and I know you know that. For instance, when you cross paths with someone and they tell you exactly what you needed to hear, they offer you encouragement when you need it, or they buy you a coffee when you need it, and you turn around and you think, how did they know I needed that? How did that line up so perfectly? How did they offer me a gift I needed so badly, that meant so much to me when I needed it most? That has happened to all of us, I think. Don't we all have at least one example of that? Or we give someone something, whether a word of encouragement, a compliment, a book, a treat, a coffee, and someone says, "Wow, I needed that." And this book is a reminder of that, to remain open, to remain connected, to remain open to receiving, to remain willing to receive, even when things feel hard, even when things feel scary, even when, you're in the unknown, when you're stepping into a new chapter. There are angels everywhere, hearing us, listening to us, wanting to help, just like you want to help. It's a give and take. And that's what this book reminds me of. And I recommend it, regardless of what your faith is. I recommend it, especially if you're on the sober journey. I don't know, I wonder if someone who's not on the sober journey would appreciate this. Maybe if you're in Al-Anon, I don't know. I can't speak for that, but why not? Why not? But yeah, the reminder to remain open and connected to the flow of life, to God, to receiving, to connecting to people, to being open to even small gifts that are so powerful and transformative. That's the message I want to share today. Remain open. Understand that things can get better, that people have gifts to share with you, wisdom to share with you, words of encouragement to share with you. But if we remain, isolated or locked up or closed up in our rooms all day and night, how will we find them? How will they find us? How can we serve? How can they serve us? It's harder to connect when we're, isolated and holding our secrets and pains tight, keeping it all locked up. So I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you continue to, recycle it and serve the world with what you receive. But there are gifts everywhere. There are people who are here to serve, just like you are, just like I am. That's the message of the day. So take care and be well.